The Ballarat Botanical Gardens, located on the western shore of Lake Windaree, is one of Australia's most significant cool climate gardens. Containing a remarkable collection of mature trees and marble statues set among colourful bedding displays. The Gardens is an invaluable heritage and recreational resource. Stage 2 of the Tour of Goldfields for 2014, and we have a 20-kilometre teams time trial. It's teams of 5, and we need the third rider across the line to get the time for the girls here today. Basically what it means is they can use 2 riders up of their team. They have to get the fastest 3 girls across the line to count towards the overall time. Team's time trial, it's a commissaire's delight. The bikes have to go within UCI regulations, which means you have to have your seat in a certain spot, you have to have your handlebars no further forward than 75 centimetres. It's something for the commissaires. The person to watch on this course is Flick Wardlaw. She is going to lead her Bicycle Superstore team through this course. She won the national title on this circuit. She'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, so the course, 20k out and back, non-technical, I think 2 corners. The wind, headwind out, crosswind on the way out, and then probably a tailwind pushing us home.
We would like to win the time trial, the team time trial, just to prove that we are the strongest team. I think it's a good statement to make, just to win the stage.
So stage 2, windy conditions is what met the girls out here today, and it caught 1 or 2 teams out. The specialised Securitor team, a touch of wheels falling off in the first 300 metres didn't help their day. We also had Serena Lee, who as she was finishing just rode into the back of her riders as they were going across the line.
How are you feeling?
Pretty awesome. As awesome as you can be when you just speed on a bike. I was speeding too fast. I needed to move somewhere. Tried to brake there and everything. I don't know what happened, and it just flew off my bike.
Out on course we saw Bicycle Superstore, Total Rush, we saw Jayco VIS and also Holden Racing doing very nicely, forming the echelons out on course. Total Rush was the first team to come across the line with one of the quickest times of the day. They came across in 30 minutes and 12 seconds, led by Bridie O'Donnell. Arbitrage Racing were very strong out to the turn, but they fell apart just after the turn. Jessica Huston, who was in the breakaway yesterday, got dropped. Shannon Sherwin, the young junior, got dropped. So it was down to Rebecca Mackey, Amanda Narby, and also Christina Ladyman to bring them home. They crossed the line faster than Total Rush with a 29.36. Suzuki Brumbies, led by Beck Wysack, had a few troubles on the way out to the turn trying to keep up with the Oceania Games champion. They were the next team, however, across the line, 14 seconds quicker than the Arbitrage Racing team. Flick Wardlaw, the Australian champion on this course, she led her Bicycle Superstore team out on course very strongly indeed. Using their riders up as they needed to, they only needed to finish with 3 riders, and they went across the line just outside breaking the 29-minute barrier, 29 minutes flat. The Jayco Apollo VIS women's team, coached by, of course, the national coach, Donna Ray Slazinski. Well, she's done a fantastic job with that team here today. They were very, very strong out on course. They were echeloning beautifully across the road, looking good all day long. They came across the line in a very fast time, 28 minutes, 42 seconds, the first team to go under 29 minutes. However, Holden Women's Cycling Team, always so well drilled, led by the National Road Series champion Ruth Corset. They were absolutely dynamite out there today. They came across the line in 28 minutes in 6 seconds to cement Ruth Corset's lead in the yellow jersey.
The team just rode amazingly. We worked really well together, and we only had like 2 days beforehand to practice because we all live in different states. So, but you know, it just goes to show we're the strongest team here.
As you would expect from the team's time trial, Holden Racing have the top 4 placings overall. Ruth Corset is the leader. She has an 11-second gap over the top of her teammate Janelle Crooks, with Ellen Skerritt in 3rd and Shannon Melseed in 4th place. Stage 3 of the Tour of Goldfields. We're out at Burrumbeet and it's very windswept out here today. My prediction is we're going to see a bunch sprint. Kimberly Wells will be looking to bounce back after Securitor's accident in the team's time trial. She was easily the fastest sprinter in the criterium. She's going to try and show she's the best sprinter here today. She's going to get challenged though by Beck Wysack.
It's 58 k's this afternoon, so not such a long race, which means we've got to make moves early on. Definitely try and blow things apart pretty quickly, I think is going to be our aim this afternoon, and see if we can shell a few of the Holden girls and make them really have to chase. And we've also got the added advantage of we've got a few sprinters in our team, so there's those bonus seconds available with the sprint points and then again at the finish. So chipping away, it could be the way to win this tour over the next couple of days. It's been a long journey in the last 4 or 5 years, and especially this last 6 months with having blood clots and the pulmonary embolisms and DVTs and stuff. So yeah, not really. The last 6 months, I got very glad to kind of put that all behind me, and to come out the other end and sign a contract is just awesome and dream come true. So really looking forward to next year.
As we expected, the wind played havoc onto this afternoon's stage. The canola fields were well and truly blowing as riders started to go out the back of the race one by one. An attacking bike race was taken control of by Holden Racing. They did a very good job defending their yellow jersey. However, the move of the day was Jo Hogan. Recently returned from Europe, hit the field with 3 kilometres to go. She went out to a 12-second lead, and up until a kilometre to go looked like she was going to take out the bike race.
I had to go with about 5 k's to go and managed to, unfortunately got caught with about 600 metres, and then there was a big mushroom cloud, and that was me exploding.
As they entered the final 200 metres, it was obvious the sprinters were going to have their way, and it was the lady from Western Australia, Davina Summers. Hasn't won on the National Road Series for 2 years. She was the strongest at the end. She took out the race from yellow jersey Ruth Corset and of course Beck Weissat rounding out the top 3.
Thank you so much for your help. It was a little bit hectic coming into the finish, but I love that sort of stuff. So I was just patient, and then the girls started to sprint a little early. And then I thought, I'm going to go. I just had a second kick and I crossed the line, and to be perfectly honest, I just didn't even, I knew there was no one around me, but I didn't actually realise I sort of won until I heard it and people started congratulating me. So long time between wins, and it's great. You kind of go into this little beautiful place, a little zone in your sprint, and you don't think about winning, you just think about being in the moment and positioning yourself and doing it's like a little game, and it just flows and it's beautiful, and then when it comes off, you cross the finish line, you're like, sweet! I love winning!
Laurelie Moss got amongst the sprints out on course today, and overnight she will be the sprint leader. Ruth Corset is the overnight tour leader. She's 22 seconds ahead of 3 of her teammates.